Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me? Is this Carey?
Yes, this is.
What's going on, Carey?
What's happening with you, Tasha?
I'm good. Thank you so much for agreeing to this interview.
Oh, I thank you for having me, I really appreciate it.
Oh, no, anytime. I mean, shoot, everybody's been waiting to talk to you.
Yeah, I've actually been waiting to talk to you, I actually have.
Okay, all right, well, let's talk then. So I have a lot of questions. Now, your management said that you were okay with any question that I asked. Basically, you were going to be an open book today. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Okay,
are you okay? You sure?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
okay.
Good. I just had a couple of questions,
If you want to call me on my other phone and I could just stop the recording and you want to ask me questions there, then we can jump back on the pre-recorded line. That's up to you. Do you want to do that?
I actually would like to ask you these questions on the recorded line.
Oh, you will?
You don't mind.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. Please.
Okay. Well, first of all, I got a chance to see, your video of what you said about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, my biggest thing is this. Opinions is like, they like buttholes. Everybody got them. I'm not tripping on that. My thing is, how could you say what you said without doing your research? How could you say these things? You spoke on some things as far as like my image or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But not knowing how I got to that image. I got to that image by protecting my daughter.
Okay.
From 6 guys. I got jumped on, hit in the mouth with a bat, and I almost lost my life behind it. So at the end of the day, my thing is I'm like, for real? I'm like, that right there, and you're not knowing to be able to judge somebody on how they look. Everybody got a story, baby girl. Everybody do. Now, the bottom line is at the end of the day, it depends on who hear the story, who want the story, or who don't, So everybody has a story,
Okay, so you're upset. You're upset about my last commentary that I gave
I'm not upset at all.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring it to your attention because, I'm saying like it's like in a lane with everybody else. A lot of people was judging me, and they don't even know me. They don't even know me. Get to know me, instead of judging me. It's two sides to every story.
True.
That's all I'm saying. If I was angry, I wouldn't even be doing this interview. I'm not angry at all. It's kind of funny to me.
Okay.
You kind of comical. You kind of sound like Tweety Bird when you talk. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm a comical genius. I was busting up laughing at it. I said, she's crazy. She must be going off that wine. Right now, I'm going off here early in the morning as I'm talking to you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
Well, I don't have any wine for this pre-recorded podcast because I want to make sure that I hear everything that you say. So I'm not trying to have anything disrupt the way that I communicate with you during this interview. So if I may speak on why I said what I said. Okay. Now, just in case, because all of this is going to be added in. So I want to let people know who we're talking to. Okay. I'm talking to R.Kelly. This is R.Kelly's brother. And he has agreed, as people reached out to me asking for an interview, and he has agreed to go on record and tell me everything. Now, of course, I had some pretty harsh things to say about you. I mocked your teeth. I mocked your looks. I mocked your career. I mocked a lot of things because I was angry at how you went about exposing R.Kelly. And because I've worked so close with each of the families and even some of the victims, I said, how could someone who claims to want to out somebody like your brother who has harmed so many lives, why would you not give us any information when you had the chance, when you responded to his I Admit video? So I clowned you. That's what I do on my show. I clown.
Okay.
I drink wine and I clown. Okay.
And I get that. So would it be safe to say that, you being the real person that you are, I respect you, and you're right. I watched you. I watched you, but it was other information that I received, and I know my brother. I know my brother better than anybody know him. At the end of the day, I watched your show, I am a fan of yours. You are right. He said, he must have watched me. And I do. I'm like, boy, she's crazy. I'm like, but she keep it 100. At the end of the day, the bottom line is, first of all, I knew that it's a lot of things that's going on, that I didn't choose to speak on at that time because I felt like, I was being my brother's keeper because of my mama. See, people is not understanding, like, a lot of things. I'm not trying to hide anything or really even protect him. My thing is what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. That's where I was. I was minding my own business. I wasn't bothering him. No matter what he done to me, I still turned the other cheek. That's still my brother. See, one thing about me is I really truly love my mama. And by him being her son, that's a part of it. So I just say, you know what? I'm not going to be in the business of it. I'm not going to. The world going to eventually see. They'll eventually see what's going on without me actually really coming forth. I said things out of anger as well. Different things that, when I was brought up in the tape and things like that, I said things. But, it was out of anger, but it was the truth, because I felt like he wasn't my brother's keeper and he wasn't keeping me. So
did your mom ask you not to say anything about your brother R. Kelly?
No, she never asked me. She never had a chance to ask me not to say nothing. One thing about my mama that people don't know is this: she spoke her mind. She spoke her mind. Even when he was wrong, she told him, "You wrong. I don't care about your money." About anything that he was doing that was not pleasing to her eyes, because how she raised us.
So she knew everything that R. Kelly was doing up until.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is as far as like pertaining to family.
Okay.
Family. Okay, we was raised if we got one cookie, we better split it 4 ways.
Okay.
Okay. As far as family, this is this behavior and these type of things came. Once she was really gone, you understand what I'm saying? So that the things that she checked him on was morals, values, things that she instilled in us. That's the things that she checked him on and told him, hey, I don't care about your money. I'm going to tell you the truth, even if it hurts. So at the end of the day, the bottom line is if she was here today, she would be speaking. She would be speaking. I know my mama, so, and that's another reason too why enough is enough. I feel like so many things have happened and transpired. I really thought that, in the beginning that, when tragedies happen and different things transpire, that, you feel like, you're going to give people a chance. Everybody deserves a chance. By it being my brother, when that happened, I say, well, when Mama passed, maybe he will straighten up and fly right. That didn't happen. When Aaliyah passed, I said, well, maybe he would straighten up and fly right because of these real life incidents that separate you from being a star. Now it's reality. Now you have to.
Let's talk about Aaliyah, because I have a lot of questions lined up for you. So we're going to be on the phone for a while. Let's talk about Aaliyah. Aaliyah, God rest her soul. Now, you being his brother, you and R. Kelly were close because you were working with R. Kelly at the time before you guys, I guess, had some sort of dispute. His lawyers trying to frame you to take the rap in that sex tape. And there's been a lot of animosity going on between you two, and that's why you're doing this interview now. Let's talk about Aaliyah because
well, I have to cut you off there, Tashak.
Okay.
I have to, I really do, and I don't mean to be disrespectful.
No, go ahead.
It's not
real.
Not really no animosity that's going on. What's happening is Cain and Abel. That's what people is not seeing this. That, what's happening now is real. It's real life. And it's everything that's actually going on right now behind the scenes. A lot of things has been behind the scenes. And getting back to the conversation that I was saying was, you asked me a question, and this is very important for people to know. Why why now?
Yeah, why
speak
now?
out now?
Okay, let's
And
start
that's
there
what
then.
I'm
Let's
saying.
start there.
That's
Why are
what-
you
that's what
deciding now to talk after all of these years? And you've known about this. Why are you deciding to say something now?
And what I was saying was earlier was, you give people, chances to change. Before you actually, put their business out there, or before you actually say, enough is enough. Actually, when things actually happen in people's lives to the point where you feel like it's a wake-up call and God is nudging at them, and now they get a chance to make they right. Wrong, they right.
So
right, they wrong. I'm sorry, right, they wrong. But after different incidents took place, as far as my mom passing, that didn't change him. He became worse. After Aaliyah passed, that didn't change him. He became worse. After he beat the child pornography case, and I was even threw up under the bus, I still called him and said, "Hey man, you know what? I'm glad that you pulled through this. As my brother, man. I just want you to take care of yourself and do right." He said, "I didn't." He said, "God." I said, "God is the one that actually pulled you through this, man." He said, "God didn't do this. I did."
Oh,
so the arrogance of it. It's like so many things is happening where I'm seeing over the years that he's not changing, and I'm still being thrown up under the bus. But I'm still being the brother.
but how many kids? How many kids has he touched, violated?
Well, I can't answer that question.
No. What I'm asking, I'm not asking you to ask how many. I'm just saying how many have to go through what they've gone through with him in order for someone as close to you that knows so much to say something, to say that this is enough.
Well, to be honest with you, Tasha, I really, I was on the outside looking in, even though I was with him, because it was a lot of allegations and stuff of things that I hadn't thought, I haven't seen, and I'm just seeing people say this and hearing people say that, and so I was like everybody else. I was lost and didn't really know what was going on until I actually stuck around, and when I stayed around and I started seeing different things as far as he would say, "Hey, Shorty number for me," and I look at him and I say, "Man, Shorty look like she's 14. She look like my daughter." And I'm very protective when it comes to my kids, so those are the type of things that I start actually noticing, like, that's off. It's not right. And we actually argued. We fought. Me and my brother fought on tour. No one talks about this. I hit him in his mouth and knocked his teeth out. The only difference is he got money to replace it.
So you guys had fought over him having sex with underage girls?
No, we didn't fight over him having sex with underage girls. We fought because the fact that you got to understand, everybody around him that was around him in that era, and even in this era right now, I haven't been around him in 10 years. But everybody that was around him was yes sirs. They did everything he said. And by the way, I'm his little brother. I'm not the oldest. I just want to correct that too.
Okay.
To the point. When your little brother is not listening to you because you're not making sense to him, of course you look like a hater. I look like a hater to Robert because I'm like, no, man, I ain't feeling that.
Put your mouth to the phone. It seems like you're kind of going away. I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so basically, with me speaking up, saying, man, I'm not gonna go get Shorty number. Shorty look like she's not of age. I don't want to be part of that. That's what I said to him as a brother, not R.Kelly, as a brother, as Robert to me. And when I didn't do that, that's when we start having words and different things, and I ended up being fired off tour because I spoke up to him, to my brother, and I didn't like different things that was happening, and I wasn't condoning it then. There's been plenty of times he done fired me, and he done told me God spoke to him, and he basically, understands that different things is going on and he needs help and he's sick and he's not right. And when he told me that, I'm like, okay, he's getting it. He's getting it. This is still my brother, Tosh, at the end of the day. So when I feel he's getting it, and then he's talking to lawyers and going to church and teaching preachers and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, he's trying to get some help. And even at that point,
help for what? Explain. What type of help was he trying to get at that time?
I mean, he has a problem. Robert has a control problem.
Okay.
You know, he and the only reason that he targeted little girls, now that I got older, I understand it's still sick. You know, he was molested, I was molested, but I didn't turn out that way.
But by the same person?
Yes.
Can you reveal this person?
No, I can't reveal the person that I was molested by.
Okay.
It's pretty much that not right now, not at the moment. It's in my book.
Okay.
But the thing of it is, I didn't turn out that way. I became a protector of children. I became something. I didn't want kids to actually go through what I went through. So in my mind, I'm looking out for them. I'm protecting them, especially my daughters. And different things of that nature, because they're innocent. They don't know. They don't ask to be here. So at the end of the day, they don't know what's going on. They don't realize that there's predators out here that actually take advantage of them. So from that point, I pretty much fell back from Robert. When I looked up and I seen that, I was being thrown under the bus, because I played a lot of doubles in his video. She reminded me of my chief, the body calling, different videos that I was in. And I was wondering, even when we was on tour, we basically had the same outfit on. We had the same outfit, the same vest, the same black, the same shades, the same.
Is this why you think his defense team tried to frame you and say that it was you in the tape? Is because you used to look so much like him?
Exactly. And the thing of it is, it wasn't, first of all, his defense team didn't know me from a can of paint. They didn't know who R.Kelly was.
So whose idea was it?
I really truly believe in my heart, me knowing my brother, it was Robert idea, because I actually was playing his doubles. They wouldn't know that I'm playing his doubles. His defense team wasn't there when we were shooting videos. His defense team was not there when we was doing concerts. When we did concerts and we stood on stage when the curtain opened, no one knew who we were until he sang. That was the gimmick.
Okay.
He had people thinking.
Did you know at that time when he was on trial, because you said you called him to basically say, you got another chance. I'm glad you got off. Did you know that was him in the tape?
Well, yes, I figured. I know about photoshopping. Now, I didn't know for sure, like 100% sure. My mind started actually going toward, man, everybody's saying that's him, and it do look like him. And
have you seen the tape?
Yes, I have seen the tape.
And you growing up with him for so many years,
mm-hmm.
Did you know, were you able to tell if that was R.Kelly or not? Your brother? Well,
like I said, in the era that we was in then, and the era that we in now, when I spoke to him, he said, man, a lot of people, they can Photoshop, your video. They can take your face and put it on somebody else's body and things of that nature.
So you believed what he said?
I believed him. I believed him for a moment. But then when I started actually seeing like different, the way he changed, the way that he started acting even more demonic. See, it's a demon with Robert.
Demon.
And it's a demonic demon. That R.Kelly is another entity. People don't understand that. Robert, he on the other hand is a different person, but R.Kelly is an entity. And people they really don't understand that. When I start seeing that, okay, he's upset, he's obsessed with different things and even being more private, even with his family, what do he have to hide? Then I took a step back, and I'm out on the outside really looking in, and I'm looking at him like a lot of other people was looking at him, like things is not adding up, it don't make sense, and things of that nature.
Okay, now when you say demonic, explain that. Does he worship the devil?
I wouldn't say that because I have no knowledge of that. I'm just saying when I say a demonic demon, I believe that any time a person lusts after a minor, that's not a righteous spirit. That's demonic.
Okay,
Anytime a person looks after a baby, a child, or a minor, something is wrong with them, and it's not just mentally, it's spiritually.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, let's talk about the first that was on record that we know of, which is Aaliyah. Now, you were around the time, you were working for your brother at the time when he married Aaliyah. Is that correct?
Yes, was I working in 2000? No. I was
you wasn't working. You were okay.
I worked with Robert from 1996. 1990 to 1996. That was the last. I only worked with him 6 years.
Okay.
Anything after 2000, or 97, 98, I was not around. I actually removed myself from the equation.
Okay. So were you around to witness his marriage to Aaliyah? Because he won't talk about that.
I didn't witness his marriage to Aaliyah. I wasn't around him at the time, and I wasn't around Aaliyah. But okay. I did witness their relationship before the marriage.
And what was that like?
They was close. They was close. Like it was too close for comfort. If I should say that correctly. They was close as far as like brother and sister, but he's so many years older than her. Like it was like a brother and sister relationship, but at the same time, it made you scratch your head. He's 13, 14, well, if not more years older than her, and he's overprotective of her. Where he shouldn't be. If this is an artist and an artist relationship or whatever, and that's what they're doing, okay. But it was a lot more deeper. It became a lot more deeper than that.
And when did you pick that up?
I mean, a lot of people picked it up. I picked it up after when he was working on an album, and he started producing her. Age ain't nothing but a number, throwing down ain't nothing but a thing. And I'm listening to the words, and then as I'm listening to the words, I'm paying more closer attention to how they're vibing. They sitting right next to each other, hugged up, and different things of that nature. And that didn't seem right with him being the age that he was, and her being the age that she was.
Did you ever confront him about it? Did you ever ask him about it?
Yeah, I said, "Hey, Rob, what's going on?" Oh man, that's my homie, man. That's my homie. I said, man, it ain't coming off like that, Rob. It's coming off like it's something else that's deeper than being a homie. And basically, when you get to asking questions, you're not invited to be around no more. You're not supposed to be around.
Okay. So that was when you guys kind of cut ties and you stopped working for him, and you weren't around to. I said, so when you started asking questions about Aaliyah, after that you weren't allowed to come around anymore. You stopped working for him.
Well, that wasn't just the only thing. It wasn't just asking questions about Aaliyah. It was a combination of things.
Like what?
Such as like I said, a lot of cats that was out there with him, if he say, "Hey man, go get Shorty number," they'll do it. Flunky. Yes sirs. I've never been a yes sir, and I never will be to nobody.
Okay.
So that was something that I was dealing with within myself, as far as, okay, yeah, this is your tour, this is your career and everything, but that's a boundary that I'm not going to cross. I'm not going to partake in going to get a phone number. And so it was a lot of different combination of things. Even, with me being on tour with him, and people started asking me for autographs because I threw down. I threw down on stage with him, and I brought hip hop to his show. So with that being said, it's a lot of things that caused the situation to be, what it was, as far as he telling me I need to fall back. I can't sign autographs. I can't sign autographs. If people asking me for autographs, why can't I sign them? And I'm out here on stage with you, and I'm traveling around the world, and and different things like this, and they asking me for autographs and want to know who I am. Why
Okay,
can't
let me interject here for a second. I don't mean to cut you off. At the beginning, you asked, why did I address or mock you? You know, mock your looks, talk about you and things like that. And I said that because to me, and a lot of viewers who saw your tape, it seemed as if, you know, you were covering up for him and you were more concerned more about your career versus all of the lives that he's ruined over the course of his career. And that's kind of what I'm getting now. And I'm not accusing you of this. I'm just asking. It seems as if, and I'm asking a legit question, are you upset at R. Kelly holding your career back?
You know what? No, I'm not. I'm not upset at him holding my career back, because everything that he's done to me, he got to answer to God on. Everything that we do, you know, we have to answer to God on. I'm not upset about it. You know, I actually feel sorry for him, to be honest with you, because he's in a situation that he can't reverse.
Okay, so you're kind of, you say you feel sorry, but I mean, are you rejoicing that his career is now over? Because his career is pretty much over.
No, it's not that I'm rejoicing. It goes back to my mama saying, what we put out there, it comes back. This is how we was raised. We knew about the church. We knew about God from the word go. We knew about, you know, how you treat people. You better got to be careful how you treat people, because it's gonna come back to you.
So you believe this is his karma?
I didn't hear you.
So you believe that this is your brother's karma?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do believe that it's his karma.
And you believe that he deserves this karma?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I believe, because nothing has changed him. Like I said, going back to what we spoke on earlier, different incidents in life has not changed him. I believe that Robert started thinking that he's God, and I start seeing a lot of people gravitating to the things that he do. As long as he come out with a good song, they forget about it. They turn a deaf ear and a blind eye.
That's facts. Everything you just said there are facts. Yeah.
And he knew that. And so he used that as leverage to be able to continue to do what he did.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the things that he's done to ruin lives. You talked about Aaliyah. You said you weren't around to witness the marriage. Did you know about the marriage? How did you find out?
Yes, it was public record. It was on the news.
Okay. So you found out how everybody else found out.
Yes.
So he never talked to you about it, though.
No, he never talked to me about that. Like I said, when I asked questions as far as, hey man, Robert, what's going on? You know, with this situation, with you and Aaliyah, he kept saying, hey, she's just my friend. She's my friend, and we close. That's how, but, when I started asking questions like that, then, of course, he felt like he didn't have to answer me. I'm his little brother. So he didn't have to answer me, So
okay.
One thing led to another, where now is I can't sign autographs. I can't be controlled.
Your mouth is pulling away from the phone for some reason. I don't know why.
I say,
okay,
can you hear me
better.
now?
Yeah, that's better.
I say, yeah, he one thing that Robert knows, he knows my weakness. If he tries to control me, it's not going to go right. So that's all he had to do. After me asking about questions about Aaliyah and different things, then he started making my life harder, where you can't sign autographs. And, I'm going to only pay $250 a week. I was getting $250 a week, Tasha, on tour. Okay?
Okay.
So that's no money. But it's also a control factor, different things of that nature. Right there is what he started doing, making my life even more harder, because I asked questions,
Okay. Now, were you around when they, I guess, were forced to get the marriage annulled? Were you around at that time?
No, I was not. I haven't really been in Robert's presence or really around him since 1997. I've seen him at family functions here and there, but I haven't been around him in his camp and in his business, so to speak, as far as knowing what's really going on in his business.
But you were around during the trial, correct?
I mean, I wasn't around him during the trial. I followed the trial because, of course, my name was brought up in it. You know, even if it was for only a brief moment. I'm sitting watching TV with my kids, and my face pop up on the news next to his face. I did a Judge Mathis. I was on Judge Mathis, the court show, and they subpoenaed the tapes from the courtroom from Judge Mathis, and they put it up on the news in front of my kids. They went to school, and they got teased. They got beat up because they were saying that it was me in the videotape. People didn't want to believe that it could be a possibility that it's their superstar.
And what did you say? I mean, I don't know how I would react if my sister or my brother did something like that to me. I mean, how did you react when you went through all of that?
I mean, I reacted to it like like a normal person would react to it. If somebody smacked you, you're going to smack them back. I went on Wendy Williams and I told parts of my story.
That.
You know, and different things like that, and I did a Kelly vs. Kelly magazine, and I put, you know, things out there, you know, that was going on, you know, and I just pretty much I had to vent. I had to get that off my chest because, like I said, my kids was going through things where they needed counseling, and it's so crazy to the point where parents are so gone when it comes to their kids at school. You know, the parents start jumping on my kids because they was talking about R.Kelly and this, that, and the other. You know, so it's a lot of different things that my children have been through that they didn't even ask for this.
Wow.
So that's another reason why I spoke out to clear my name. I have had women walk down the street and say, "Hey, you know, you R.Kelly brother?" I'm like, "Yeah, how you doing?" And spit in my face because they thought that I was the one that set him up.
Oh, wow. And let me ask you a question. It didn't sit well with me, and especially with me working so close with the families and with, you know, some of the victims lives that he's ruined. And I'm just like, wow, like if his brother knew all of this, why hasn't he said anything? Why hasn't he gone to the FBI? But I wanted to get. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I would like to say this too. There's a lot of different things that I actually was dealing with and, you know, pretty much still dealing with, but I believe that, you know, God got me. You know, it's deeper than the eye can see, Tasha, as far as like Robert know a lot of people. We have a lot of money and a lot of people have made threats toward my life. It's another reason why I didn't just speak out. Then when I did speak out, I spoke out from the streets because I'm from the streets as well, and I know a lot of people in the streets, but I don't have money like you do. So you understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different things that I was dealing with, and I'm not promoting music, but I write my life. You know, that's what artists do. They paint a picture.
Okay. No, I got that, but it just didn't seem to us, and I'm sure you caught a lot of backlash from that after you did that. I mean, yes, the story did go viral. I was one of the media outlets that had spoke on a lot of the things that you had came out to confirm about your brother being gay and sleeping with men and abusing underage women. But it just didn't seem genuine because you kept saying, "Oh, I was blackmailed from the industry. You blackballed me. You know, and all I'm trying to do is do my music. I'm minding my business. How dare you put our mama name in a song?" So it seemed as if like you were upset more so about him holding back your career versus all the kids that he's molested, including some of your own family members, is what I'm hearing.
Right, but that wasn't my angle. That wasn't my angle. It was actually like I was already going in the studio, Tasha. I was already recording and different things like that. And you know, when he said that, I really try to keep Robert off the forefront of my mind, to be honest with you. Like I said, I feel like what's gonna happen is gonna happen. What's gonna be is gonna be, and nothing. Money. One thing about money and power. It can't stop you from being judged by God.
Okay.
You might be.
Okay.
You know, so
I'm going to apologize, but I wanted to apologize after you had a chance to explain yourself, after the interview was done. It was going to be on air. And so I would kind of like to keep it that way, if that's okay, because I don't want to apologize for something. And then at the end of the interview, it still seems as if you're trying to more so push your music and you're mad at the fact that your brother was only paying you $250 a week. And there's a lot more things that you legitly, and you have a justifiable reason for not really giving a shit about your brother. I mean, him trying to frame you, not paying you and respecting you. Your family hasn't reaped any of the benefits of R. Kelly's career, and you guys helped him.
Not just that, though, Tasha.
I mean, you have a legit reason.
There was a lot of different things where, rumors spread in the streets that, if a person know that you know some stuff that can actually put them away, a scared man will kill you quick. And what I'm saying is I've heard different things about my life being in jeopardy as well. Mm-hmm. So you got to understand my shoes. Like these shoes, the average person can't put on. They can't walk around the block there, drop dead if their brother was R. Kelly, or if they were seeing R. Kelly and the things that I actually went through. Like I said, I'm not bitter. God,
So do you believe that your brother put a hit out on your life?
Yes, I do. I really truly believe that. But it's hard for me to prove it because people's not going to come forth and speak about it.
Okay.
Right now,
how did you get that But how did you get that information?
Well, I actually got the information from the streets.
Okay.
I got it from the streets, and the resource that I had that I got it from was actually a cop. To be honest, he couldn't prove it. It was a cop that I actually knew. And because I knew his nephew, I used to play basketball with his nephew. Okay. He actually put the guys over and caught the pistol, caught my name in a black book, different things. That's a hit list book. And where these cats came from, Tasha, I've never had beef with these cats. And the only person that had control of these cats was a person that was from my brother's camp. So that's why it wasn't a case. It never became a case. They went to jail for the gun, but they never said anything. My name was in the black book. They never said anything. The bottom line is this came from a cop saying, hey, I pulled some guys over. They went to jail. They never talked. That's the whole thing. So the bottom line is, I'm right here. So basically, that cop knew me. He didn't have no reason to lie to me. And not only that, I had actually moved from the place that I was, and these people was lurking around my old house because they thought that I still stayed there. So that's why he caught them in that area. That was his beat, and he pulled them over because they was like 6 deep. And he told me the only thing is the reason why nothing became of it because they didn't tell. They didn't tell. They just, I guess they got locked up for the pistol and different things, and they never said anything. But the guy who run them, we talking about street stuff. The guy who ran that crew, that group, and where they was from, he was my brother right-hand man. It's just different things that these cats is not going to go make a move without him knowing.
Was he affiliated with the gangs at all? Because it's been said that he is affiliated with the gangs in Chicago.
Yes.
Okay. Has your brother ever tried, and this is a hard question for me to ask, has your brother ever tried to touch your kids, his nieces and nephews?
No, I have to answer that as honestly as I can really think of, Tasha, to be honest with you. No, he hasn't. If my brother ever had tried to touch my kids, y'all wouldn't have got 12 play album. I mean that I would have been in jail because that right there is just something that's not acceptable, at all.
Now, there's been rumors that he's touched a few family members. Can you confirm or deny that?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has touched family members.
How many family members do you know?
I didn't hear you.
How many family members?
Well, one that I know of.
Okay. Male or female?
But, female. But like I say,
all the information will be disclosed in my book, Walk a Mile in My Shoes.
Okay, I get that. But your management said that you were going to answer any question that I had. We don't have to go into specifics. I just kind of need you to answer these questions and not leave a cliffhanger because this is going to be like a 2-hour interview. And I hate for the viewers to listen to something and they get nothing from it. They're still going to buy your book. Geronda disclosed so many things.
To be honest with you, though,
and they still bought her
I think
book.
I have disclosed information to you that I haven't really even told anybody.
No, and I get that. But we're
Okay,
I mean, there's a lot of questions, and I want it to remain like that. And being that you're so real, and you have been for the last 43 minutes of this conversation, people are gonna buy your book just off of the strength of this interview. Geronda released everything, but they still bought her book. Geronda sold out of her book the first day this interview went live, and she told specifics that was in the book. I just want to know, because I mean, this is vital information. If he's touched his own family, I don't think people should have to purchase that information. This is information that's going to be used to help the families that are trying to get their daughters back now from R. Kelly, who were underage when he got them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so
that's correct.
I'm going to link your book, and I know you have a lot of great things in that book that people do need to hear, and I'm going to push your book. I just need to know. Now, you said it was a female that he touched. How old was she at the time when he touched her?
I believe she was 14.
14. Did he have sex with her?
Yes.
And this is his cousin.
Yes, he did.
Is this his cousin? Which family member is this?
Cousin.
Okay. Now, there are rumors out there that there's a baby. That this particular cousin has a baby. Is that correct?
As far as the rumors, yes, that's correct.
Okay, so she has a baby by R. Kelly, her own cousin.
I can't say that. There haven't been any DNA or anything done.
Well, when did she get pregnant? Was it around the time that he touched her at 14 years old?
No, she actually didn't get pregnant because I think she was like 17.
Okay.
17, I want to say 17, probably 17.
Was he still messing with her at the time? Do you know that?
I don't know. I just what I do know is when it took place, it was a lot of turmoil in between the family and different things like that, and it was like rumors, but her brothers actually was confirming different things as far as what happened, as far as him bringing them to his house and him cleaning up his house and they not being around there. So that, of course, 2 and 2, they put 2 and 2 together. Why is she in the room with him? Why are they there and they sweeping and they mopping and different things like that? So,
So his own family members were brought over to clean his house, like hired maids, and he would take this 14-year-old cousin into his room alone and shut the door.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did she confirm that there was sex between the two, or is this something that the family just kind of figured out?
It's something that the family kind of figured out, and I really, would like for her to tell her story. I really do.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
If she would speak on it.
Now, how did the family act? Okay, I'm not going to ask you any more questions about her specifically. Hopefully she will come forward and share her story. I do understand how that could be hard if there is a child involved, because the child didn't ask to be here. How did the family react to R. Kelly when they found out about this?
Well, to be honest with you, a lot of people didn't believe it because he who he is. And that's how he's been able to sustain in his business as an artist and as a human being, not being locked away and put up in jail, because it's almost hard to believe that this icon, that this superstar, will do things of that nature.
I mean, a lot of people still have a hard time believing that R. Kelly is actually doing half the shit that he's been accused of right now. So, I mean, that's not far-fetched. When people have love for whatever artist they're a fan of, I mean, they can't do any wrong. But I mean, this is some serious shit, because the same behavior that the family has known about, and this has going on in families for years. I mean, my family covered up what happened to me. And so being that you guys were touched by a family member, it's being covered up. R. Kelly, came out and admitted that a family member touched him. That same family member touched you. Now this girl is being touched by R. Kelly, but yet nobody is talking about it. It seems as if everyone is still covering it up. Why?
Well, I mean, I'm not covering it up. What I'm saying is, everybody have they different. Everybody deal with things differently. Did
your mom know about this?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't believe so. I can't say.
Okay.
I'm not covering or protecting. I just can't say she did because knowing my mom, how she was, she would have told him a new asshole. That's just how she was.
Okay. Now let me ask you something, because it's kind of bizarre, but this particular cousin, is she related to the family member that touched you and R. Kelly?
Yes.
So do you think this was some sort of revenge on his part?
I can't answer that question because, as far as I can only speak for me when it comes to that, I never thought about touching a little girl. Never thought about.
I understand that.
Doing. So I can't really say what was going on in his mind and why he actually, did the things that he did, or being accused of the things that he done. I can't say why he thinks the way that he do. The only thing that I can honestly say, Tasha, is it's empowered by people who don't believe it. That's what keeps Robert actually being the predator that he is because he believes that people are not going to believe it, and so that's what keeps him in the media. That's what keeps him going.
Well,
and he don't.
You do know there is an active FBI investigation going on against your brother. Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Have they been in contact with you?
No, they haven't.
Okay. Are you willing to assist them to help the families now that are trying to get their girls back from R. Kelly?
Yes, I am.
Wow. Do you know for a fact if these girls are being held against their will? Is this something that you know?
Well,
personally?
one thing that I can honestly say is I never got a chance to meet these other girls.
Okay.
But I did know his wife Andrea. I was on tour with her, and I knew her, the kids of his mom's ex-wife, and I witnessed different things as far as controlling a lot of things that she's saying. A lot of people don't believe it's the truth.
I don't think anybody doesn't believe Drea. I mean, we believe Drea. We just don't understand why Drea's been protecting him all these years. At first, she came out divorced from him. A lot of people didn't even know that R. Kelly was married or had a wife and had kids. And she was all good. She was the ex-wife of R. Kelly. She used it to get on TV shows. And now all of a sudden, that shit has hit the fan. She's telling a different story.
Yeah, but I mean, you just never know a person walk until you walk with them.
I get that too.
You walk beside them. So that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, she still have kids by this man, and that right there, I can't answer this for her. But me knowing her, I knew her. I've witnessed different things that happened with her.
Can you tell me some of those things? I mean, she shared a few of those things, but can you corroborate her story and share a few of those things?
Yes, I've actually witnessed, her knocking on the bedroom door. And from the inside. And we sitting out there in the living room or whatever, and she's basically asking him, can she go use the washroom, the bathroom? And he's saying, no, you can't go use the bathroom. That's not even humane. That's not ethical. It's not right. It's laws out there for dogs. If you do something wrong to a dog, you're going to go to jail. And people was overlooking human beings. And it was time that he did make her wait 2-3 hours. And, when she did come out the room, she came out the room actually on her knees and her hands like a dog.
So she came crawling out the room like a dog towards him?
Yeah. She had came crawling out the room. He had chains around, her neck. And
chains around Drea's neck?
Like she was a dog, like a leash.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, oh, my God, this is crazy. That right there, and, there's a lot of different things that she dealt with that I witnessed like that.
Can you share just a few more of those things?
I mean, she couldn't speak to people.
Okay.
She when she come if anybody come in the room, and she's sitting there, she got to put her head down. She got to stay looking down. She cannot look up long as there's another man in the room.
Did he ever hit her?
Yes. Yeah.
You witnessed that?
I witnessed that.
Wow. What was your reaction when you saw him hit her?
I'm finna go, man, because that's husband and wife at the same time. He knew I was pissed off about it. Oh man, you ain't gotta go nowhere. It's my house, and this, that, and the
I know,
other.
but if you're seeing, but here's the thing. It's like it goes back to the family protecting this shit. Scooting it under the rug. That's husband and wife shit. But what you saw, that wasn't husband and wife.
Well, what I'm saying is if I reported it, Drea was so far gone to the point, Tasha, that she was going to deny it.
I understand.
See, people not.
Okay.
No,
I understand that.
I'm looking like, okay, I went and said this, I told the family, and now he got her to the point where I don't know what he's talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like telling me the catch-22 here on a lot of different things.
Okay. I understand. It happens every day. But I'm just asking you about your intentions in that moment. Because, those are questions that legit people would ask. Like, if you saw this, what did you do? Why didn't you do anything to stop it? But I do understand at the end of the day, like, if she is not willing to come forward and speak her own truth, which she's now done after 20 years, there's nothing anybody can do.
She said she came forth when God told her it was time. And that's real, because when you under a trance or you being controlled, you don't even realize that you're being controlled. That's what people don't understand. You're not even realizing. You know that something is going wrong. You know that something is not right. You know that you know what you feel, because some people just go numb and they pretend. Like, even when I got, molested, I pretended it didn't happen in my mind. Mm-hmm. I was in a safe place in my mind, but I really wasn't. So some people can block things out, like it's not going on, or close their eyes when they see the boogeyman, like he don't exist, and he's not there.
I understand.
Real life shit.
Now let me ask you another question. It's been rumored that he touched his kids. Cheryl Mack sort of kind of confirmed it a little bit in her 5-page, statement to clear her name. Is this something that you know of?
I don't know anything about that situation, because, like I said, I haven't even been around Robert, let alone seen my nieces and my nephew. I wouldn't even probably know what they look like today if I don't, unless I see a picture on social media. I haven't seen them since they was babies.
And that was going to be my next question. Have you spoken to Drea since?
No,
She's
I
been
haven't.
Separated.
No, I haven't spoken to Drea. All I know is I know that my kids was on social media and they was reaching out to their cousins, which is Robert Kidd, and they were saying different things. It's like, hey, I'm your cousin, and they were saying, no, you're not my cousin. Just because y'all have the same last name that we do, don't mean that y'all kin to us. And then my kids, being who they are, they said, y'all mama know us. She knew us since we was a kid. And I don't know. I can't say who typed it or whatever. All I know is that my kids were saying that Drea said that they didn't know anything. She didn't know anything about me.
Okay. It's been said that a lot of girls have come forward saying that R.Kelly has given them an incurable disease, which is namely herpes. There was one woman that says she caught oral chlamydia from giving him oral sex. Do you know if your brother has herpes? Can you confirm or deny that?
Well, I actually can't confirm or deny that, at all, because I don't have the knowledge of that, as far as, doctor statements. I'm just saying, I said, when I said what I said that based upon what people was coming forth saying, a crazy disease. That's a crazy disease. That if you're doing that and you know that you have that and you're doing that, you bogus. And I don't care who it is. That's bogus.
Okay, so you're basically going off of what the media is already reporting and what people are saying. Now, what about his sexual relationships with men?
Well, one thing that I can say about that is when we was on tour, it was different things that I noticed, in Robert that was not manly like. Mm-hmm. And so I spoke from that perspective of mine and I confess when I said that, it's been times that we was on tour and like I said, people were saying, hey, who is him? Can I get his autograph? And he'll say, this is my brother, this is my little brother, and different things like that. And he had tried to kiss me in the mouth off guard. And I'm like, I push him away. Like, man, what is you doing? Now we arguing in front of his fans because
have you guys ever kissed before as kids in the mouth?
Oh no, we don't. I don't play that. Homie don't play that.
Okay, so you're saying basically when you were on tour with him, he tried to kiss you in the mouth.
He tried to kiss me in the mouth, and then it's been several times to the point where we almost got to fighting and stuff. And no homo, but he did this in front of people. I wouldn't accept it if it was by ourselves.
So you ain't on that like Birdman and Lil Wayne shit. That's what you're saying.
No, I can't. You know what? I don't even know what their situation is.
No, there's footage. I'm just saying. But these men aren't related, and they're kissing in the mouth.
I'm not on no kissing no man in no mouth.
Okay.
I don't care if it's my daddy. Okay. I'm not on kissing no man in no mouth. I'm not on letting a man touch me. So
you guys have almost. So you and R.Kelly have almost fought because he's tried to kiss you. Now, was it like a sensual kiss, or was it like, come here, give me a kiss?
No, see, that's the thing, though. There's that, Italians kiss each other on the cheek. We talking about the mouth. I don't know what you're doing with your mouth. You don't know what I'm doing.
Did he try to put his tongue in your mouth, or did he just try to do lip?
It didn't never get that far. Baby.
Okay.
Baby girl, it never got that far.
Because as a female, when a guy tries to like kiss us, we can tell if it's just gonna be like, mouth peck, or is he trying to stick his tongue out? Because the tongue kind of come out a little bit.
I mean, come on, Tasha. You don't have 3D glasses. You can only tell once he embraces you, once he gets close to you. You're not gonna say, "Oh, this gonna be a tongue kiss." Come on, now, 100. This ain't gonna. This right here is real. He didn't get that close to me for me to say I can tell what type of kiss it's gonna be.
Do you feel that your brother would have tried to sleep with you personally?
You said, "Well, did I feel who?"
Do you feel that your brother would have tried to sleep with you?
Yes, I do. If I was that way, I believe he was testing the waters, and even the different things. We play basketball. I know guys hit, NBA players, they do that. They hit each other on the butt for good sports. But when you hit somebody on the butt and you grab their butt, you cuff they bun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. There's a difference.
That's not sportsmanship. That's not manly like. That's not none of the above.
Do you think he tried to sleep with you because he wanted to control you? Maybe if you had done that, he would have had something over your head to manipulate you with and blackmail you.
You say, do I think that he tried to?
If he would have slept with you, do you feel like it would have gave him control over you, power over you?
Well,
because you said he has a control problem.
To be honest with you, I can't even go into if he would have. If he I can't even think that way because I know me. Mm-hmm. I'd have been in jail a long time ago for real with your uncle.
With whose uncle?
Your uncle did 20 years. I'd have been doing 20 years with your uncle.
Well, my uncle didn't go to jail.
I know. I'm just saying. Figure of speech. I'd have been locked up a long time ago. We wouldn't be having this interview. The world wouldn't know nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
Has there been any other family members besides you or your cousin who have been touched by your brother, R. Kelly?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
No one else. No, there has not been rumors or anything about anyone else that I know of.
Okay.
Well, I just, I understand and I get why people think that, that I was protecting him or whatever. Even with me being in the situation that I've been, like I just explained to you, I still feel like my life could be in danger right now.
Right now. Well, I did want to tell you on camera, because I have spoken with, and I don't mean to cut you off, I'll let you finish in a second. I've spoken with a few of the families. They are wanting to know if you do want protection, they can offer you protection for coming forward.
Yes.
Okay. They will make that happen. And I'll definitely give them your phone number as soon as we hang up so that they can go ahead and arrange for you to have some protection as well as your family.
I appreciate that. I really do.
When did you start to notice that your brother had a problem?
Well, I can't really pinpoint what. Well, actually, when he took off, his arrogance, the way that he dealt with situations, and it was in the 90s when he took off and he got signed to the record label and he came out and he blew up overnight. That's when I noticed it was different, because he even acted different toward my mom. My mom had a husband, and he had just the only man that we knew as the father that took care of us, even when our daddy was a coward and racist and didn't take care of us and didn't do anything for us. This man took care of us.
Okay.
He did everything for us. And, when Robert got up there, he actually told my mom that he had to go. And, in order for him to be able to give her any money, he had to go. Well, for the record, this man worked for the airline for 20 years. He wasn't worried about no money. My mom was dying from cancer. She knew it. And she wanted to spend the rest of her life that she had on this earth with her husband that took care of us and the only father that we knew. And Robert tried to control that situation, even with his own mama. He's a control freak.
Why would he tell his stepdad to leave? Especially when your mom needed him so much. Right then. Did they have any type of disagreement?
It's a control factor, Tosh. It's a control factor. I'm helping you out, and this nigga living there with you. But he's helping her out, and he's paying his bills, and he's helping her do everything that needs to be done. It's a control factor. If I'm going to give you an allowance, this is what he told my mama, then that nigga got to go. And my mama told him, nigga, I don't need your money.
Right. You my child.
Back to work. She went back to work until she died in the same hospital that she worked in. This is real life. So that, she stood up.
So he didn't help out with any of her medical bills or anything?
Not at all. Not at all.
But he tries to speak so highly of her in his music.
But the whole thing of it is that's the whole thing. It's the trickery in the gift that he has in the music. It's the gift and the curse at the same time. Robert is not telling the truth, the whole truth, so help him God. Even when he shot the I Wish video, that was a prop. That was a prop. That big cross in the I Wish video, I wish, that was a prop. When they left, that prop left. He wasn't even at my mama burial. Okay?
Oh.
So
why didn't he come to the funeral? What was his reason?
You said why? You said why did he?
Why didn't he? What was his reason for not coming to
my mom's funeral?
Okay.
He came to my mom's funeral.
Okay, he came to the funeral. He just left when it was time to bury her.
You said what again?
You said he wasn't there for the burial.
No, I never said he wasn't there for the burial. I never said that.
Okay.
I said he didn't come to my grandmother's funeral.
Oh, the grandmother. Okay.
The grandmother that's buried next to my mom,
which is my mom's mother, and she don't have a plaque at all. The people where they buried it, they know our family very well. These are records. Okay?
Okay.
My stepfather is the one who buried my mom. His insurance is what buried my mom. My brother didn't put forth $1 for that. So if it's anybody trying to clout chase, he's clout chasing himself because he's the one that's selling records online. At my mom's funeral, I want you to picture this, Tasha. At my mom's funeral, I heard Rob telling somebody in his camp to call the radio station and let them know where he was at his mama's funeral. People came to my mama's funeral with demo tapes. I want you to picture that, okay? Demo tapes to my mom's funeral.
So basically, he opened it up to the public.
He opened it up to the public because it's always been about a record sale for Robert. Sympathy, the victim. He's the victim, and he's not.
Do you feel like he should go to jail?
Yes, I do. I feel like everything that he has done, that's the only way that he's going to be fixed. As long as Robert can think he Houdini and trick the world, he's not gonna be fixed. He's gonna continue to do the things that he's doing, long as he can get away with it. He's gonna continue to manipulate people, continue to try to buy people out that he feels that he can buy out. It's just different things that he does because it's allowed. It's allowed. That's why.
Well, I do want to say on air that I personally apologize to you for talking about your teeth, for talking about your looks, for talking about your intentions.
It's all good because I appreciate that. Just like Cardi B says, she got a bag and fixed her teeth. I'm gonna do the same thing.
I think it's like you probably go to the dental school and get it cheaper there for about like half the price. So, because they have the dental students, like you go to the dental, like you go to the cosmetology school and get your hair done for like 80% cheaper. Yeah, you can get it done like that. And I did want to apologize too on air to Drea. Although I still have my issues with Drea, her timing, the specifics, because she really hasn't even given us any specifics. Just her going through what she's going through. People handle situations differently. I felt like she profited as long as she could off of the name and then decided to tell the story when the name no longer benefited her. But I do apologize for dismissing the fact that she was an actual victim to R.Kelly.
Let me ask you this, Tasha. Okay, do you have kids? Do you have kids?
I do have a daughter. She's 11.
Okay. And do you have a husband or a boyfriend?
I have a husband. We've been married almost 14 years. Yes.
Okay, that's a beautiful thing. I'm just saying that now. That's your husband. I have to put people in other people's shoes, and I'm not saying nothing disrespectful to you or none of that.
I understand.
I appreciate you, and you a stand-up type of woman to be able to apologize for the things that was said, and I respect you for that. I really do, from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, and thank you for accepting my apology.
Because most people wouldn't do it. They feel like I got this platform, and I ain't got to say nothing to you. You the one trying to be heard. You the one and you didn't do that to me, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate you accepting my apology.
I just wanted to close your eyes and just picture if you, as far as speaking on Andrea part and myself, if that was God forbid your husband being accused of different things, you got to realize too, you have a daughter, so you'll be in a situation where how do I go about this? You trying to figure things out on how you would go about it, especially if the world is talking about this and you have a child with this man. Now, that's my perspective, me speaking from Drea on her behalf of me knowing her. With my situation, is pretty much the same when it comes to
this is my brother. At the end of the day, he's my brother. R. Kelly is not my brother. Robert is. Robert Sylvester Kelly. That's who I knew. And I haven't seen Robert in so many years. This entity has taken over and became a monster and a demon in the family and has divided the family and got some people in the family feeling like, oh, he's speaking the truth, then we ain't messing with him. And then other people in the family looking the other way because what they see and know Robert is doing. So this has divided my family so many ways, to the point where I have aunties I haven't spoke to, my mama's sisters. I haven't spoke to them. You know, they won't speak to me because I'm speaking the truth about what's going on, the different things, and so the family has been divided, and enough is enough. Enough is enough, and that's just where I'm at. If I don't sell a record, if I don't sell a book, I got the story out there to the point where women have reached me on Facebook and said that, you know, that they appreciate me coming forth and speaking on the things that I've been through because it helped them. Even if I don't do nothing to help one person, I've done my job. If I don't do nothing to help one person, I've done my job. I've done my job. Because this is not about Robert. This is about everything and every pain that he has caused. I can honestly say that Jocelyn's mom reached out to me last night and on Facebook, and she told me thank you, and I reached back out to her, and I told her that I pray for her and her family. This is not just about music. This is not just about me getting on. I said, I pray.
That was going to be my next question. What do you want to say to the families?
And I told her these words. Can I read them to you, Jocelyn? I mean, can I read them to you, Tasha?
Yeah, this is what you said to the Savages. Correct.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm finna read it to you.
Okay.
And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Okay. Just bear with me.
Okay.
This is what I told her. This is Jocelyn, Mom. She said, yes, thank you for speaking. So many girls have been in bondage for years because of him. And I pray that he gets help. He needs help and free our daughter. And I wrote back to Jocelyn these words. I said, thank you and God bless you. And I want you to know, Miss Savage, I pray for your family. And I can't imagine what all you've gone through. But I know that what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And no matter who it is, but God sits high and look low, and everything that is done in the dark will come to light. And you have my word that I will hold that light and aim it toward the darkness so that world can see the truth. I pray for your daughter and all the girls that are in bondage to be set free from the demonic spirit in Jesus' name. My mother, Joanne Kelly, did not raise us to be this way. And I apologize for the pain and the grief that my brother has caused your family on my mother's behalf. Because if she was here and he was doing human beings this way, she would have something to say. This is not her legacy. This is a spawn of Satan straight from the pits of hell where he will be cast back down to. I have daughters and I love them very much, and I salute you and your family for being strong and brave to stand up to this monster. If no one believes in God anymore, your family is a great inspiration to believe in him now. Sorry. Pastor, need a second to get his stuff together, okay?
No, it's okay. Take your time.
That kind of broke him down a little bit.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
School, bro. School. They don't understand your purpose, man. Can't get number one right, bro.
Can he hear me?
Hold on. I'm gonna get close to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He here. Come on.
Carey?
Yes, I'm here, Tosh.
I want to tell you something because I know what you're doing. I mean, I spoke to the parents. I spoke to Faith's mom. I spoke to Jocelyn's mom and dad. Angelo, his daughter, is with R.Kelly. Has been there since she was 17 years old. He hasn't talked to his daughter. He only talks to her like maybe once a year, and it's like for 5 minutes on the phone. You have no idea how much you've just helped them right now. When I called them to tell them that you were going to be interviewing with me, I mean, if you would have heard Jonjolyn, I mean, you would have thought that Jocelyn walked through that door. Our daughter, she hasn't seen in almost 2 years.
Wow.
They are so thankful. And I think anyone hearing this right now is thankful for what you're doing now, which is doing the right thing, stepping up to work with the FBI to bring those girls home. And the only reason nobody's talking about it, and I'm the only person really making noise about this shit as loud as I am, is because, you know, they're black girls. They're not white girls.
Right. Right.
And speaking of white girls, I watched the video of yours that you did, and you spoke about a 13-year-old white girl. Okay.
Actually, on the way to Florida, me, Bruce, and Robert, we on the tour bus. And, we stopped at a truck stop. And the truck stop that we stopped at, Robert bought a tape. Stephen King, sometimes they come back at you. It was a horror movie. He bought it on VHS. That's when it was on VHS then. That's how long ago this was. And, so me and Bruce asked him, can we watch the movie with him? He said, no, y'all got to go by y'all own. So that's how it was 2 videotapes of Stephen King, Sometime They Come Back Again.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to fast forward back to this situation. While we was gone, Robert had videotaped over one of the movies. This is one of the Stephen King, Sometime They Come Back Again. He had videotaped over it. And when he videotaped over it, we didn't know it. Me and Rob had got into it, and he sent me home. So I paid Bruce for my copy. And I thought that I was getting Stephen King Sometime They Come Back.
Okay, you're breaking up, and it's really, you're saying some important stuff. Now, what were you saying?
I said, I ended up leaving. I ended up going home. Robert sent me home. And when he sent me home, and I actually grabbed the wrong tape. And when I grabbed the wrong tape, when I got home, I sit down and watch this movie with my kids because I had been gone for weeks. And I wanted to come back and spend some time with them since I was being fired anyway. I came back and I said, I got a movie for us to watch. And me and my kids sit down and I put this tape in, and it wasn't Stephen King, Sometime They Come Back Again. It was Robert interviewing white girls and asking them to be having sex.
He was interviewing what?
He was interviewing these white girls that was 13 years old. He was asking them their age, and he was having sex with them.
So your kids saw a tape that you accidentally grabbed that you thought was Stephen King.
That I thought was Stephen King. I hurried up and I took the tape out because my kids were there.
So he was having sex with these 2 underage white girls whose number you refused to get at the mall earlier on tape.
Exactly. And, I instantly took the tape out because my children was there. And I didn't even know what had just happened. I was blew away. I said, man, this is crazy because I watched some of this, with not some of it, like a few seconds of it for me to know what's going on with my kids. And I could erase that out their mind. I took that.
And when was this? In what year?
This had to be somewhere, I want to say like 95.
Do you still have the tape?
No, I don't. To be honest with you, Tasha, this is what I'm saying, and I apologize to the world
Because I tried to protect my brother. I really did.
I apologize to the world. When I found that out, I called Robert. He didn't answer the phone because he was still mad at me because
he just
fired me. So he probably thinking I'm calling him because I want my job back. That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case.
so I can't hear. So that wasn't the case.
So after that happened and took place,
I finally reached out to
somebody in the camp, and I told him, I said, look, man, I need to talk to my brother. He needs to give me a call
right away.
And when Robert finally talked to me, I let him know.
I said, man, look
here, man,
you done went too far.
You done went too far.
And I was really, really
pissed off at the fact that these was little girls. I wasn't looking at the white or the black. Little girls, period.
But I was pissed off about that, but I also was pissed off about
the fact that
my kids saw this.
And so
I said, man, you need to come to Chicago. You need to talk to me. I never
asked the man for no money. I never did anything
to blackmail him or
anything. When Robert got to Chicago,
I told him, I said, man, look, dude, you need some help. If you don't get
no help, I'm gonna turn you in.
Robert
took that tape
from me
and he destroyed it. And from that point on, that's where the relationship really became estranged. And I never told the world this. Robert made me take a lie detector test to see if I took any more, if I made it.
You're breaking up again. He made you take a lie detector test?
He made me take a lie detector
test to see if I made any copies of this and different things of that nature.
Oh wow!
And
he was really worried.
We wrestled over this tape, and I end up giving them the tape because I'm like, dude, you need help. This right here, man, you done went too far, and I don't want to put it in nobody else's hand because there was people that was willing to pay me for that tape, Josh.
There were people that were willing to pay you for that tape.
Willing to pay me for that tape.
Is it because they wanted to use it to destroy him?
They wanted to use it against them.
Okay.
They wanted to use it against them.
That one right there, that's why I think they wouldn't have got an album past 12 play.
And I meant that.
If that's what I was on, and that's what I wanted to do, and I was jealous of my brother, God know I had plenty of time to destroy him, but I didn't. I didn't destroy him. He destroyed himself. I sit back and I watched him destroy himself.
Mm. Do you regret letting him have that tape?
It's not that I let him have it. We was wrestling and tussling over it. I regret I didn't take it. I didn't go to the police with it. I regret that I called him and gave him a chance to explain this to me. Now I see. You can't. This is not this Photoshop. These are the people that you understand what I'm saying. These are people that I seen in the mall. I seen these little girls in the mall. I with my own eyes. And now they're on this tape that you did erase the movie that I'm thinking that I have. I would have never put that in if I thought that was on there with my kids.
I understand. And I don't felt that you would have. Wow. Now, it's been said that he's been paying a lot of these girls off over the years. Do you know that to be true? Or not?
I don't know of anyone that I can honestly say received the payment, and I knew that he tried to pay me. He tried to pay me off. I knew that he tried to pay me off to actually take the rap.
How much? Yeah, how much was he trying to pay you? If you don't mind me asking.
He offered me $50,000
to go to jail on child pornography charges.
To go to jail, exactly. A record deal, $50,000, a house, and
no freedom. What Robert tried to do was get me to meet with his lawyers and let them videotape me to say that was me in the child pornography case.
Oh wow! So they wanted a confession.
They wanted a confession from me, and I refused to do it. At the time, I recorded somebody that, and I don't want to reveal their name because they're a family member as well. Right now, I'm not trying to throw nobody up under the bus, but I'm telling the God honest truth. I recorded them calling me and saying that Robert needs you to get up with the lawyers, that you need to go here and you need to go down there. And the quicker we do this, the quicker we get our money, because he was gonna get paid too for getting me to do it. And then I went and met with Rob, and when I went and met with him, that was the first time that he asked me to come in his swimming pool, and I'm looking at him like we two grown men for the sit in the swimming pool. But what it was, he thought I was wearing a wire.
Mm.
And I came out and I said, Robert, I said, man, if you think I'm wearing a wire, man, just ask me that. Don't ask me to get in the swimming pool with you, and and I'm in the swimming pool with you, and we just both too hard legs to sit in the swimming pool talking. Keep it real with me, man.
And what did he say to you?
He cried to me and he begged me and he told me that these people was trying to put him away. And I said, what people? And he said, man, these people was trying to put me away, man. I said, who? You trying to put you away? That's a brother to brother talk. I said, you trying to put you away? I said, man. He said, man, I would pay you, man, X amount of dollars. He didn't want to have that on tape. That's why he wanted me to get in the swimming pool. You follow me?
Oh, so you couldn't record him trying to bribe you, pretty much. Trying to pay you off.
And so after I refused that, I told him these words. I said, you don't have enough money in the world. If you was the richest person in the world, these are my exact words. I said, if you was the richest person in the world, it still wouldn't be enough money to sell my soul and go to jail for you for something that you did, and make a mockery out of my life, and my kids have to still walk and carry this cross that I created that's not even mine, because I accepted a payment from you.
Well, let me ask you something. I don't mean to cut you off. Now, the tape that you had found of him and the 13-year-old white girls, that was before the trial, correct?
Yes, it was. Okay.
But when there was a tape that surfaced of him doing the same thing, and then you said earlier during the interview, you said, he told you that people Photoshop things. You actually believed him and thought maybe somebody Photoshopped your brother.
Tasha, we still have to be honest, and you said you understood where I was coming from.
I do, but I'm
still my brother.
I understand.
At the end of the day, listen. You asked me a question, and I'm trying to answer.
Okay. Fair enough.
This was still my brother. I knew that he had done that, but Robert made me feel like that he wasn't, even when I was around him for a while after that. He never showed no signs of even messing with girls or anything. Not saying that it's supposed to be okay, but I just really wanted him to get.
You're breaking up. What'd you say?
I wanted him to get well. The problem that he has is a mixture of. It's just like if you get a family member that's on crack. It's not them doing the stuff. It's the disease. It's the drugs itself. So you really want them to get help, and you don't feel that jail at that moment, at that time, was necessary for him to get help.
Okay.
Because Robert is suicidal. Robert is not street. He's not hood. If he go to jail, this is how I'm thinking, and this is what I was thinking. He's gonna kill himself.
So you don't think he's gonna turn himself in, or go down, or go to jail?
I didn't hear you.
I said, so you don't think that your brother is going to allow the feds to put him to jail? He would probably commit suicide before he goes to jail.
He would probably commit suicide before. But it's at the point right now, enough is enough. If he commits suicide,
then he's gonna lift his eyes up in hell because you can't take your life. So it's to that point where I meant every word that I said to Jocelyn and Mama, and all the mamas out there. I meant that, and that's where I'm at right now in my life. I have to stop this demon with the things that I know now. Can't go back and change the past. I can only be responsible for the present and the future right now.
And I commend you for coming forward and telling the true story, what you know and what you saw, so that people won't have any misconception about bloggers or these parents continuing to lie on a legend, because that's ultimately what they think. They think these parents are lying, that they're trying to destroy R.Kelly, or they're trying to take another black man down in the industry. And that's not what it's about. He's really sick and he needs help.
And that's the truth. That is the truth. I feel like, and another reason I feel the way that I feel, I'm not perfect, Tosh. I'm not perfect. I'm not, I'm the first person that can stand up and be accountable for my mistakes, because I'm not perfect, and I know that I don't know everything, and everything that I do is I'm not an angel. I'm not. What I'm saying is I feel like my mama, to me, my mama is speaking through me. I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. That's how I feel. I feel like she is telling me that it is time to strike this demon down. You're not striking the brother, striking at this demon that has taken over your brother. This is how I see it now. This is how I look at it. At first, I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it, I would be displeasing, to my mom if I did this, because at the end of the day, that's still her child.
I understand. I know. I was going to say that. You gave us 1 hour and 40 minutes worth of footage. Thank you so much, Carey. And I'm saying thank you on behalf of the parents. They wanted me to tell you that personally. Like I said, I did reach out to them, and you would have thought Jonjolyn saw C0USlN walk through that door. That's how excited she was, and just thankful for you coming forward to tell people the truth about who R.Kelly really is. And so,
and thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you for having me tell them. I said that I thank them for listening and believing in me, because it's real hard to know that my brother has done these things to these women, to these mothers, to these fathers, and to these children, and that's why I apologize on my mama's behalf. And I mean that.
And I'm sure everybody listening to this will be able to hear the sincerity in your voice and know that you're being really real about this. So thank you. Personally want to thank you for just taking the time out to just talk to me. You spent 1 hour and 40 minutes on the phone with me, just being real. And you do have a book coming out. Tell me about that.
Well, the book is called Walk a Mile in My Shoes. And it's basically talking about different things about childhood and from childhood and different things that, how we grew up and basically, talking about Robert, being the type of person that he was as a kid up until his stardom of fame.
Okay.
And how he changed and how, he became controlling and how he became selfish and how he became everything had to be about him and different things of that nature. That's what this book, Walk a Mile in My Shoes, is basically talking about. And that's volume 1.
Okay. And I will link that book below for anybody who wants to purchase that book. It's an audio book, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. A lot of people don't like to read these days. They want to listen more and watch. Thank you so much, Carey.
Thank you.
All right. Now I got to do my little signature outing. Now I got to go. Bye.